I'm a social worker, so I'm broke. My pockets are shattered, sliced open, spilling minute amounts of green and metallic hues into the belly of that which continues to haunt me. But these losses make room for lessons. Because when your pockets are starving for something more than the spoils of your 40-hour work week, you have no choice but to fill them with something. Now, sometimes my pockets speak to me, asking me questions like, why work when it puts you further in debt? So I peer into the windows of my reflection with intentions of discovering an answer. Or I look outward and squeeze clarity from the faces of the youth that I work with when a familiar voice says to me, if not me, then who? See, I don't have all the answers. And no matter how hard I try, I can't cure the world. Real life shit will always remind you that you can't. So at this point, my pockets are filled with the memory of 3 young women sitting in a room. And they're being told that the nightmare they've been living is almost over. They're being told that now, after years of parental molestation, they finally have the power to send their father, the monster, away. The oldest of the 3 girls is 11 years old, belly swollen with child. As I sat there and listened to their testimonies, my pockets remained silent, like this was the testament that would fill them forever. As tears fled from her gaze, she explained how mommy knew and how the youngest of the 3 was his favorite. And as she cried, all I could think about was a punishment fit for a crime so immoral, and how the system was going to swallow these kids up, and how so many of us sit in privileged silence and point fingers from the safest positions. My thoughts run on, hand in hand with my rage. The fact that my uncle just died doesn't help. The fact that I can't sell a CD a month in my own city. At any given open mic poetry slam or feature makes me want to throw all of this save the planet shit down the toilet and start talking about safe shit like cars, clothes, hoes, sex, drugs, money, and rock and roll. Because I'm honestly starting to believe that we as human beings are the descendants of domesticated cattle. Because we support and follow trends like sheep support and follow shepherds. And I know it may sound like I'm ranting, but my pockets are empty and I'm trying hard to make a difference in spite of that. Pregnant little 14-year-olds keep walking through my office door wanting me to answer questions that parents should be answering for them. Young men walk through my door with no guidance and look at me like I'm the father they've always sought after and I'm always honored. But every time I get that past due bill in the mail, I'm forced to conform to the fact that there is no money in helping people. But I wanted to help those 3 little girls. Wanted to strike out at every pro-life and pro-choice activist that had something to say about what to do with that 11-year-old's unborn child. I wanted to say, shut the fuck up with all of your bickering and find a solution to the issue, because at what point are you prepared to explain to your child that their grandfather and father are one and the same person? And sometimes I wonder if the passion to fight the good fight will ever become as empty as my pockets. But I found the answer to the question posed by them set within the eyes of every child and social worker struggling to live. Why work when it puts you further in debt? My reply is, I have no choice. If not me, then who?
Chilling in the B-boy stands. Pack the back in search of the loop, but beats don't bend, they break into fragments that fragment the night. Spinning with distortions underfoot. We construct the modern-day pyramids with tales about jail bids, or how big our stacks is, or how many we have orally penetrated. See, break beats don't bend, they break with the bounce of the weight of a B.I.G. Papa. Who shot you? And Tupac lives in spinning rims and insane depiction of street life, but really, they're amateur video stars. Shooting their adventures in high 8 with no editing software, then they broadcast it out in HD. This brought to you by a local drug company and liquor ad. These modern day porch monkeys turn junkies, they smoke. And they smoke to stay high. Because low is too close to real. And the GHETTO ain't an excuse to broaden the abuse. And they arm children with arms. And they take no responsibility for their wrongs. And Tupac lives in children who flash their bullet holes as badges into this imaginary entry called Thug Mansion. My man, it's only a song. It shouldn't be a lifestyle. And the spinning windmills remind the pastimes like wild style. Well, graffiti-lit stairwells were never erected in this southern city, Oswell. And I'm chilling in the b-boy stand. I'm writing poetry in a dialect of slaves, because free men moved to Liberia and re-slaved the slaves. And free men never left Africa, but they looked down on those who were enslaved. And I shaped the beat an inch from its life. I try to draw all my pain in the center, itchy trigger finger, and I won't invoke the name of Cobain to give you a clear picture of pain. Just take this broken concrete as metaphor. As I shadow box a sample with Ollie quickness, Tyson thickness, and Joe Louis slickness, and Tupac lives in centralized categories. But there were other parts to his story, parts that were overshadowed by his own mythology. American tall tales, they swell out of proportion, and maybe in the year 2040, we'd have buried John Henry, we'd have picked up Tupac tribute, reading, it'll be outlawed. And we'll kick back, wearing Izod, listening to iPods, and rolling in hovercrafts. And even there, without a care, except for a cardboard box, some 12-inch techniques, a graffiti wall, a plugged-in mic, there'll be someone like me, chilling in a b-boy stance, ready to advance your imagination.
Love can give a heartbeat, lead feet with concrete socks and iron shoes, make it hard for you to move. But slow your groove down to a snooze, remind you that our hearts do not break, they bruise. Will make you sing the blues when she leaves in different hues of confused. Have you feeling like you have nothing to lose and abuse. The avenues that she and you use to diffuse that melancholy madness, the things that once amused. The things that made it easy, you'd coast through the cruise through the storms that blew together you. Well, I would say that I was face down at the shoes of my muse. Couldn't function when she left me like I had blown a fuse. At one point, I placed my sorrows in a heart-shaped canoe that made it float down a rogue river of booze. Tried to stew my heart until it oozed bad news, and hoped she'd liberate it or enslave it like a coup. Boo-hoo knew that we would separate, we grew through way tougher battles, no clue. The braid would unravel from a tackle so gentle, who knew that something so trivial could pierce through the glue that bonded me and you. At time sparks flew, baby, I miss you dearly. My dear, can we renew? Wipe the slate clean, work it through, then review. Construe the misconstrued, bury the hatchet and the feud. My apologies, didn't mean to drift. But there's a hole in my chest more like a rift that once held a gift that used to beat so swift. Now that gift slumps heavy from the rip, hard to lift. Love will make you sift through your memories, make you pass the remedy, and render any hopes of moving past the past entropy. Make the very one you loved your worst enemy. Make those same memories disease and eventually break you down mentally, simply make it near impossible to move through the density eventually. Make you ache physically, literally. The only cure is time. Friends will offer you their sympathy, but empathy will never be enough. Love will make you seek clemency. Eventually those memories will usher in misery. Reopen injuries that heal through the victories. You'll be in disbelief because the past is not history. Love can make you feel alive in ways that make you pray for your demise. Love, pull the truth right from your eyes. No way to mask the pain, no disguise. Love affects the ignorant and the wise in the very same way will be the reason for your cries. Will break you and your ego down to size and paralyze your ability to move forward and rise. Sugar eye, apologize through poems to the sky. And hopes your love for me would return like fireflies to the summer in your heartbeat sparks into inferno. I hope to make these wishes internal, external, but that would be infernal. We could never fight the feeling. My dear, you have moved on and I'm still here healing. Heartbeat reeling, reeling, I'm kneeling. My heartbeat is screaming out and pleading with the ceiling. And sometimes I dread dreaming as much as the antithesis to sleeping. But when I am awake, I feel the quakes of you leaving. When I slumber, you return. When I rise, I'm weeping. Love will make you seek the things that once made you appealing. Torment you through the pictures where your pearly whites are gleaming. But the past is the past. I'm awake the aches of dreaming. Leaking from my retinas, fleeting. My sanity is fleeting in reverse. This curse of love could be rewarding and redeeming. Baby girl, I am grateful for our meeting. We shined like a beacon, you and I, we were one. Now the light's on is bright due to the fact that you were done. But I am still shining, would like another run. We've learned from our mistakes, we've grown since we begun. And even though love hurts, I'll be waiting for your call. For I'd rather have had love than to never loved at all.
His hand clasped around her neck, she moans. His hand squeezing, she shrieks at the shrouded shrine, then releases. She maneuvers moist, manipulated, manic moans under his fingering frets. And he used the science of dirt, because dirt holds the DNA of God. You touch any part of earth, mother ground, palm flat, and it will leave a mark, but he don't fret. He just works frets on his Stratocaster, turned upside on the down. Breath brings beats between the 2 and the 4. And Jimmy's left hand is guided by the prettiest angel. You know that X-Saint City sliding, seducing, saturated sound, while Gabriel waits on high alert. He is tuning triumphant trumpets in D minor. His threat level's changing like leaves in the Carolinas. It's turning orange, it's turning brown, it's turning yellow, it's turning wow, wow, wow. Oh, like a wow, wow, wow. And it's a psychedelic dust magic that runs back to a cord that is connected to an amp, and inside the amp are tubes, and they're exploding, imploding, and the sound man's about to have a nervous breakdown with that Afro alien. He pulls it all back and plays it loose and cool, and god damn it, he's cool. He's cool like a perfect performed windmill by Crazy Legs, and he got visions of clouds, and he remembers the sounds of free falling, ex-paratrooper. Imagine that irony. Now he jumped from planes like he jumped from heaven. And now he takes that tidal wave of sound and he rides it like a skilled surfer. Before long, he is commander-in-chief. He throws a nod to the salmon and tells him, there's no beef, baby. You know, it's all groovy. And at that moment, he became we, and we he. So it's 1984, and we're standing with our feet spread apart, arms folded. Now, is it a coincidence that at that time, we rock parachute pants like Jimmy was an ex-paratrooper? And I remember the first time that I saw breaking. 1984, North Crossbar Movie Theater, black-ass Robert Easley, he sat next to me and he literally jumped out his seat and rolled down the aisle because we had just slain Jesus! And Jesus was a black man named Turbo. And Robert caught the Holy Ghost like those old ladies on Sunday morning on cue after Reverend Franklin wiped his dry forehead a third time with that white hanky. See, B-boys been trying to be? And then that's the question? I mean, thieving ass Shakespeare knew the answer to that, right? See, B-boys been trying to be long before 41 shots. 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 Long before whips. Long before chains. Long before boats took trips across the ocean with human cargo. See, B-boys been trying to be better. And in our attempt to be better, we can't forget our past. We got to take that back feed and feed back our hungry spirits and create new songs, because Jimmy knew that a B-boy's blues, it ain't always sad. And I'm sorry, white people, but fuck a rock star. You can't have him. He belongs to us. See, Jimmy was a B-boy, a B-boy, a B-boy, a B-boy, a B-boy, a B-boy, who happened to play the blues, baby. You know. Thank you very much.
Let this be the beginning. Let this be the moment where we agree to step forward together. Let this be the platform where the battle within is manifested, we the people. Fight every day to stay optimistic in the face of unrelenting pessimism. There are politicians and people of privilege in positions of power that love to pour blight from the greatest heights on the aspirations of the poor. The repugnance descending from these hierarchy heights have created craters so abysmal the sheer depth alone is enough to intimidate poems radiating from the sun. And it is here that we wait, enshrouded in umbrage, gnashing at each other's throats as if we had forgotten what stability and support tasted like. But I beg you, my people, this infighting must subside, for it is my belief that from this darkness will come the lucid cry of hope, a defiant bellowing that will quake upward from the bowels of these chasms, the battle cry of those who will suffer the weight of shadows no longer. These abysmal craters sent to encircle us will begin resonating the phrase, "We have finished being your stepping stones and footstools." From this moment forth, the very foundation of your oppressive establishment will rejoin the squalor it now sits so pristinely upon. We will vent our vexations through vehement vocal vibrations. We will live our lives. And if our words fall upon calloused ears, and those that live in privilege lose their ability to ascertain the bane they brought into our homes, we will have no other alternative but to bring the physical fight to their doorsteps. My people, you must understand, our destiny is in play, but the future of our children is not yet etched in stone. So if we are willing to momentarily set aside our differences and embrace those things that unite us, I say to you, this despair will flee in the visage of this amassing arm. If we fight, there can be hope and an opportunity to not only change the future, but the present. We must make those driven by hate understand that even though our generation is the tormented product of an immeasurable ignorance, that we must not pass that epidemic on to our offspring. So I say to you, live. I say to you, love. I say to you, live. I say to you, love. I say to you, live. I say to you, love. I say to you, fight. Until your bones are nothing more than the pulverized monuments for those future warriors to draw strength from. Champion the struggle and become the change.